It's time for Tubi Tuesday, and today we're talking about a movie called All Cheerleaders Die. And in this movie, all cheerleaders die. Yes, I'm serious. Uh, so before I talk about this movie, I need to talk about this movie. Scotty, you've already reviewed Mayhem. Jess, but that's not why. So I put this in to watch it the other night. Two trailers popped up that made me want to watch these movies. One is All Cheerleaders Died. The other one, well, we're going to have to wait for that. But, yes, it was because of this. I saw this, and I'm like, I really want to see this now. What is this? What is it? Oh, didn't this come out after? 2017. This is 2017, they're advertising it. This is 2013, 2014 film. You know. I was not prepared for what I was going to get with this movie. There was a point where I was very much into this movie, and at some point it dropped, and then it came back, and then the ending made me drop out again. It made me scratch my head because I'm so sad because of the ending. It's not a sad ending, but it's once you realize something with the end, you're just like, damn, what we could have had. But the film centers around one girl named Maddie. At the beginning of the film, there's a character that dies. She then vows revenge, and it leads to a lot of shit. So this movie started off, and I was like, fuck, is this found footage? I wasn't looking to watch found footage. The trailers didn't look like found footage. No, Maddie is recording Alexis, or Lexi, as she is going through her, cheerleader tryouts or the cheerleader stuff. And you can tell that she has something against the cheerleaders. Maddie does. The other cheerleaders are like, go away, Maddie, go away. And she's recording the stuff. And there's this girl named Lena who tries to warn her. And it's not till later that you realize what she was trying to warn her about. She's like, we need to talk. Not now, Lena. Now, I think she was trying to warn her about the upcoming death. You know. But how could you do that? We'll get to that. But they do one of those things where they toss her in the air and she lands. And they're like, oh yeah, that's not impressive. Oh yeah, well, let me try this. And they try it again, and she ends up going face first and breaking her neck and dying. Yeah. And I should mention she had a boyfriend named Terry, who's African American. Not that it matters, but the character is. And we then cut to 1 year later, and now Terry is now dating Tracy. Just 1 year later, yeah, and they are holding new tryouts. Shout out the longest yard. They're holding new tryouts, and Maddie is the one of them trying out, and she actually gets onto the squad. It's like she practiced for it or something. We do find out that she's up to something because she records video vlogs, and I'm sitting there going, that's gonna come back later. It does. But also, Lena is still around, and she tries to warn that something bad is happening. But it seems that Maddie and Tracy are getting close. And I mean close as in she tells her that Terry cheated on her over the summer. And how long have they been together, though? Because, like, she does say later that, like, in her video vlog that, like, after Lexi died, she hopped on Terry's dick or whatever she said. I don't know. And you go through this thinking, at a certain point in the film, Terry turns into the outright villain of this movie. And I mean it. He's just, like, you see this trailer and you see, oh, these chicks are going to turn into zombies. He's going to have to turn into zombies. They're going to kill people. But actually, even when they're zombies, they're still the heroes of this movie, in spite of what happens. Yeah. And I knew there ended up being zombies, but watching through this movie, I just kind of wanted a, I don't know, a cheerleader drama type movie. Maybe Terry goes nuts and becomes a serial killer and starts hunting down the cheerleaders. You know, and it's down to uh, Tracy and Maddie, and she has to confide, the truth. But they take some twists and turns with this movie. Let me tell you, boy, do they. uh, so yeah, she's out for revenge. We don't find out why she's out for revenge. We just assume it's because Lexi died, but that was an accident. So I don't understand. I don't know. But yeah. And so she tells Tracy that Terry was cheating on her. This leads them to get closer, and they make out in the woods. And Terry sees them, and that's when shit. I don't have the fan. Hits the fan. Fan's in the bathroom. The shit hits the fan. Terry sees this, and he gets pissed. Now, at the time, and even now, I'm like, why are you getting pissed? You cheated first. I still believe he cheated. In fact, we know for sure he cheated, just not in which way he cheated. Although technically he wasn't with her at that point, so yeah. But still, we can surmise that, because like he sees like flashes of stuff, and there's another girl there he's smooching on too. That's not, unless that's supposed to be Lexi, I guess. I don't know, but I still think he cheated. The way he acts and stuff. I don't know. There's also Hannah, the younger sister of Martha, who has a crush on this guy, but this guy only sees Martha. Apparently later he's like, she's my girlfriend, and I'm like, no, the fuck she ain't. Like, she trying to put her arm around her, she pushes you. It's one of those situations where you think she's your girlfriend, but she's not. She even says she has no, but then she gets, okay, we'll get to it. So at this point, Terry loses it, and he says, you know what, dogs, we need to stop hanging around these bitches. Because, female dogs are called bitches, I guess. That's true, I guess, but now on, no fraternizing. What teenager in 2013 uses the word fraternizing with the cheerleaders? Yeah, so Tracy, what's her name? Tracy. Tracy gets up in his face about it because, she basically dumps him, and then he punches her in the face. Don't hit women. Don't hit women. That ain't cool. That ain't cool with me. You hit a woman, I'ma hit you repeatedly with a stick made of metal that looks like a bat. I'm gonna hit you with a metal bat. That's what I'm gonna do. Don't hit women. Don't hit women. It's not right. It's not right. Anyway, so after that, the cheerleaders take off in a car. And Terry, for some reason, gets all the guys into his car and chases after them. And they end up going over the bend into the river. Lena, who was there to warn Maddie that something was going to happen and was ignored, and saw Maddie and Tracy making out. Apparently there was something between Lena and Maddie that we don't specifically get told, but you can kind of read into that. They also had a lesbian makeout session at some point, I guess. But they crash. She freaks out. By the way, we find out later she's a Wicca, or she's a witch, I guess. And she came to warn them because she sensed the crystals were telling her something bad was going to happen, which you can then surmise is what she was trying to say at the beginning of the movie. That something bad was going to happen, but it happened to Lexi, I guess. Everyone's dead. And the first two she pulls out, though, she pulls out Tracy, and then Maddie. or all four of them are out, but she throws out those two first, even though Tracy was in the back seat. And Martha was the one driving, the Jesus freak they call her. She uses her crystals to try to bring them back, and all the crystals go into them, and then one last crystal, the purple one, goes into her. Yeah. And we cut to Lena's house, and everyone wakes up. They got boo-boos and scrapes and stuff, and yeah. And so you're kind of thinking, okay, what's going to happen? They're brought back to life? What's going on? All the cheerleaders died. They died. The title of the movie came true. What's going on? If you've seen the trailer, you know they become zombies, but you don't know. And if you didn't see the trailer, you'd be thrown off by this. But all of a sudden, Tracy goes downstairs to get something to eat. Can't find anything. There's goat milk, which I guess is made from actual goats because they're outside. She goes across the street to Lena's neighbor, Larry. She's in her underwear, by the way. She seduces. By the way, it's made abundantly clear that at least 3 of these girls are 17. And Anna is the younger sister, so she's at least 15, 16. Right? I don't know. But also we find out that Martha and Hannah have switched places. There's never a reason given for it. Lena never, is like, straight out says why. They just are. But later you kind of find out why. I guess maybe they're 18. I don't know. But I'll get to it when I get to it. It's my theory. I didn't look up the ages of these girls, by the way. I didn't. But it's a thought. So she gets hungry, and then all the girls are suddenly there, and they attack Larry and eat his blood, and they're all better now. And I like how, so the guys are like, Terry's like, you know what, we don't need them bitches anymore, because we got the puppies, freshmen. That's not legal, my man. It's not legal, man. It's not legal. You're 17, 18. They're 14, 15. Come on. They're hitting up, and then the girls come up, and they're like, what? And then we get what I think is the reason why they did the body swap is that Hannah, in Martha's body, seduces the boyfriend guy, the guy that had the crush on, that Hannah had the crush on but only had a thing for Martha. They have sex. Hannah in Martha's body. And I think the reason they swapped is so they could do this scene, because I think the actress who played Hannah was underage. But you do this, you have an actress who is of age, and it works, I guess. And one thing I'm thinking is, no, now you have a 15, 16-year-old and a 17, 18-year-old body. I don't know. It's weird. And then it's revealed all these girls are connected. And when she arrives, for lack of a more family-friendly term, they all feel it. So technically, this dude made 5 women come at the same time. Couldn't even finish that with a straight face. Must be special. But yeah, now Martha in Hannah's body has figured out what happened. And also, meanwhile, during this, Tracy has gone to get high with this guy. And during this, the crystal pops out of her head and goes into his head and kills him. And she sucks all his blood out. This is where Terry starts to figure out that something else is going on. Yeah. And he discovers the truth. And he becomes total villain bad guy. Yeah. So, shit hits the fan again when the girls are at Maddie's house and find the video logs that she's been doing. And then, okay, Tracy's like, I'm fucking out of here. And they all try to leave. And this is when Terry decides to make his strike. Yeah. And I don't remember, did boyfriend guy that got laid, did he get killed? I don't remember. Anyway, it's Terry and Vic. And Terry basically kills Hannah, takes the stone out of her, and he eats it, getting his own kind of powers. He then proceeds to kill. Eventually a chase ensues, leads him to the graveyard. He eventually ends up killing. By the way, Vic shows up. Vic turns sides and then gets eaten by Maddie. For no reason other than they didn't need him for the finale, so let's kill him off. Eventually, Terry does kill the other two, Martha and Tracy. Kills them. And even kills, what's her face? Maddie, before he himself is killed. But using her grief, Lena brings Maddie back. And before the credits can roll, a hand comes through through Terry's body. And it's the dead body reincarnated of Alexis. Roll credits. That's how it ends. Yeah, and then get this kick to the nuts. Title card pops up. All Cheerleaders Die. Part 1. Well, now I want sequels. Come on now. It's been 10 years. Over 10 years. And you've yet to get a sequel to this. Come on. Don't say part 1 if you're not going to follow through. Had it just ended like that and it said all cheerleaders die and that's it, that would have been a hell of an ending. Like, what do you do from that, you know? But they clearly intended to do more, but I can't find reasons why they didn't. I want another film. I want another one. I want a sequel to this. All Cheerleaders Die Part 2 and 3. That's what we need. So I was wondering if something was going to happen with Alexis because she started this off, you know, when she died. So I'm going to go to very high middle of the road. I almost thought of giving it a pretty good, but it wibble wobbled. Because when the cheerleaders started eating people and taking their blood, I'm just like, okay, you lost me. And then when Terry became ultimate villain, I was like, oh, okay, you're in this again. And then the ending, leading into a part 2 that never happened, I'm like, you lost me again. If they had made a sequel, I looked. No, there's not. Come on. A very high middle of the road. Close to a pretty close. So, what are your thoughts on All Cheerleaders Die? Leave in the comments below. If you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.